Swayambhunath is an ancient religious architecture atop a hill in the Kathmandu Valley, west of Kathmandu city. The Tibetan name for the site means Sublime Trees, for the many varieties of trees found on the hill. However, Shing.kun may be a corruption of the local Nepal Bhasa name for the complex, Singgu, meaning self-sprung. For the Buddhist Newars, in whose mythological history and origin myth as well as day-to-day religious practice, Swayambhunath occupies a central position, it is probably the most sacred among Buddhist pilgrimage sites. For Tibetans and followers of Tibetan Buddhism, it is second only to Boudhanath. The Swayambhunath complex consists of a stupa, a variety of shrines and temples, some dating back to the Licchavi period. A Tibetan monastery, museum and library are more recent additions. The stupa has Buddha's eyes and eyebrows painted on. Between them, the number 1 is painted in the fashion of a nose. There are also shops, restaurants and hostels. The site has 2 access points, a long stairway with 365 steps, leading directly to the main platform of the temple, which is from the top of the hill to the east. And a car road around the hill from the south leading to the southwest entrance. The first sight on reaching the top of the stairway is the Vajra. Tsultrim Allione describes the experience. We were breathless and sweating as we stumbled up the last steep steps and practically fell upon the biggest Vajra that I have ever seen. Behind this Vajra was the vast, round, white dome of the stupa, like a full solid skirt, at the top of which were 2 giant Buddha eyes wisely looking out over the peaceful valley which was just beginning to come alive. Much of Swayambhunath's iconography comes from the Vajrayana tradition of Newar Buddhism. However, the complex is also an important site for Buddhists of many schools, and is also revered by Hindus. Mythology: according to Swayambhunath, the entire valley was once filled with an enormous lake, out of which grew a lotus. The valley came to be known as Swayambhu, meaning self-created. The name comes from an eternal self-existent flame over which Izar was later built. Swayambhunath is also known as the Monkey Temple as there are holy monkeys living in the northwest parts of the temple. They are holy because Manjushri, the Bodhisattva of wisdom and learning, was raising the hill which the Swayambhunath temple stands on. He was supposed to leave his hair short but he made it grow long and head lice grew. It is said that the head lice transformed into these monkeys. Manjushri had a vision of the lotus at Swayambhu and travelled there to worship it. Seeing that the valley can be good settlement and to make the site more accessible to human pilgrims, he cut a gorge at Choba. The water drained out of the lake, leaving the valley in which Kathmandu now lies. The lotus was transformed into a hill and the flower became the Swayambhunath stupa. History: Swayambhunath is among the oldest religious sites in Nepal. According to the Gopalajava, the first Florinnavala Swayambhunath was founded by the great-grandfather of King Mahanadeva, King Vata I Sardeva, about the beginning of the 5th century CE. This seems to be confirmed by a damaged stone inscription found at the site, which indicates that King Mahanadeva ordered work done in 640 CE. However, Emperor Ashoka is said to have visited the site in the 3rd century BCE and built a temple on the hill which was later destroyed. Although the site is considered Buddhist, the place is revered by both Buddhists and Hindus. Numerous Hindu monarch followers are known to have paid their homage to the temple, including Pratap Mela, the powerful king of Kathmandu, who is responsible for the construction of the eastern stairway in the 17th century. The stupa was completely renovated in May 2010, its first major renovation since 1921 and its 15th in the nearly 1,500 years since it was built. The dome was re-gilded using 20 kilograms of gold. The renovation was funded by the Tibetan Nyingma Meditation Center of California, and began in June 2008. The temple complex suffered damage in the April 2015 Nepal earthquake. Architecture: the stupa consists of a dome at the base, above which is a cubical structure painted with eyes of Buddha looking in all 4 directions. There are pentagonal toran present above each of the 4 sides with statues engraved in them. Behind and above the torana there are 13 tiers. Above all the tiers there is a small space above which the gaja is present. The stupa has many artifacts inside it. Symbolism: The dome at the base represents the entire world. When a person awakes from the bonds of the world, the person reaches the state of enlightenment. The 13 pinnacles on the top symbolize that sentient beings have to go through the 13 stages of spiritual realizations to reach enlightenment or Buddhahood. There is a large pair of eyes on each of the 4 sides of the main stupa which represent wisdom and compassion. Above each pair of eyes is another eye, the third eye. It is said that when Buddha preaches, cosmic rays emanate from the third eye which act as messages to heavenly beings, so that those interested can come down to earth to listen to the Buddha. The hellish beings and beings below the human realm cannot come to earth to listen to the Buddha's teaching, however, the cosmic rays relieve their suffering when Buddha preaches. There are carvings of the painch Buddhas on each of the 4 sides of stupa. There are also statues of the Buddhas at the base of the stupas. Painch Buddhas are Buddha in metaphorical sense in Tantiana. They are Virashena, Akshobhir, Ratnasambhava, Amitabha and always faces the west, and Amosiddhi. Each morning before dawn hundreds of Buddhist and Hindu pilgrims ascend the 365 steps from eastern side that lead up the hill, passing the gilded Vajra and 2 lions guarding the entrance, and begin a series of clockwise circumambulations of the stupa. Swayambhunath. Swayambhunath is a Buddhist scripture about the origin and development of Kathmandu Valley. Swayambhunath gives detail of all the Buddhas who came to Kathmandu. It also provides information about the first and the second Buddhas in Buddhism. Gallery. See also, Natural History Museum of Nepal, Shamapa. Footnotes, Allione, Tsultrim. Women of Wisdom. London, Arcana. XXXIII. ISBN 1-85063-044-5. Allione, Tsultrim. Women of Wisdom. London, Arcana Ziv. ISBN 1-85063-044-5. A.B. Shah, Rishikesh. Ancient and Medieval Nepal, pages 122. Manohar Publications, New Delhi. ISBN 81-85425-69-8. Lonely Planet Nepal. Swayambhunath. Goodschow, Niels. The Nepalese Kaitya, 1500 Years of Buddhist Votive Architecture in the Kathmandu Valley. Edition Axel Menges. Pages 92. ISBN 9783930698752. Retrieved April 8, 2014. Shakya, Hemraj. Sri Swayambhu Mahakaitya. Kathmandu, Swayambhu Vikash Mandala. ISBN 99933-864-0-5, Utpal Parashar. Oldest Buddhist monument gets a makeover in Nepal. Hindustan Times. Nepal earthquake damages Swayambhunath temple complex. News April 25, 2015. Retrieved April 26, 2015. Additional references, Swayambhu Historical Pictorial. Edited by Richard Joseph and Satya Ho. Kathmandu. Psycho-Cosmic Symbolism of the Buddhist Station Pa. Lama Anagarika Govinda. Dharma Books. Berkeley, California. ISBN 0-913546-35-6. ISBN 0-9133546-36-4. Further reading, Ayard, Franz Kahl. A Renovation of Swayambhunath Stupa in the 18th Century and Its History. Ancient Nepal, Journal of the Department of Archaeology, No. 114, October-November 1989, pages 1-8.